Hey loves, I just now noticed that that there's some folks on here. How y'all doing tonight? We just got finished with the 105 class where we did the socks and we learned how to create patterns for those really popular face socks where you see the face and repeat pattern. So that ran a little over, and then we're doing a live proofing session right now for Tiffany, I believe. Right, Erica? And I think I have the template that we're working with here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our new photos and we'll start changing out the image here. 1, 2, and 3. So this one has 3 photos and we're going to work with our best placement here. And I'm just renaming the photos so that it'd be easier for me to know what I'm clicking on. And Erica, if you can let me know if Tiffany is able to do the chat on here. If not, then I can chat with her via text message, if that's better. Okay, so while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and fade off these images so they look nice and blended with the template here. I'll grab just a soft round brush. Just change the size of that brush and kind of fade off areas that we want to look like go right into the design. And because this image is pretty much chest up, and so I'm really trying to make this image match it by being more of a chest up, or what they call a bust image. Okay, I'll go ahead and fade this one off too. Now I might have to get a little bit smaller brush so that I don't get too much into the face area. I think that worked. And then of course the last image, I'm adding a layer mask and I will paint away on this as well. Just make it look nice and faded. No hard lines. If we can avoid it, no hard lines. And I took up a little bit too much here, so I'm gonna use my white to bring it back. Here we go. Uh-oh, there's no sound. Are y'all hearing any sound? Let me see. Yeah, I hear me typing. Hey Tiffany. I see you in the comments now. Perfect. So you can always let me know in the comments here. Okay, great. If you want to rearrange anything, if you want to see different colors, right now I'm working on the placement of the images. So you can let me know if this is a good type of placement. I see two individual pictures and then like a photo together. So I'm just assuming that this is a good layout, but you can let me know otherwise. And I'm thinking that because it's two individual photos, maybe we can do the butterfly wings, the left and the right wing. We group that. And save as. Okay, and I'm going to move these wings and put them just on each individual photo so that we can have a pair of wings for one image, and then we'll have a pair of wings for the other image. So what I may end up doing is placing these images a little bit higher. And if you notice, these are the angel wings, and we just clip the butterfly pattern into it. Let's take photo number 1. Must be her beautiful wings. Take photo number 3. Bring it down here. We'll make a alt click and drag so we get a second version of the wings here. Now, Tiffany, what do you feel about the colors? Do you want to stay with this color scheme, or did you have another color scheme in mind? All right, and while we're waiting on that color, I'm going to go ahead and take off a little bit more of this image. Hey, what's up, G? He stays so busy. I'm actually really tickled to see him here. All right, so I'm going to fade off the bottom of this just a little bit more. So I'm making sure I'm on my mask layer, grabbing my paintbrush. Oh, I still have white selected. Need to make sure black is selected because black is going to conceal and white reveals. And I want to make sure her hand on her shoulder stays there because they look connected. I love that. All right, so zoom out, control minus a little bit. Actually, let's do control 0. So I zoom all the way to the extents of the artwork. And let's see. And Tiffany, if there are any dates or name, or if you want to change the words or anything. Oh, those colors were our favorites. That's awesome. They just happened to work out like that. It's probably what drew you to the image too. Yeah, that's really sweet. Do you want me to add any dates or any names, anything like that, love? And I apologize for the delay. There's going to be some silence in between because if I'm waiting on a response, I don't know how long the delay it is from when it records to when you see it live, but there is a slight delay. And this is a template, so I think we may have spent maybe about 5 minutes updating the images for it. And of course, if we need to change words or change colors, it can take a little bit more time. But the idea is that I want you all to be able to have really high quality, nice graphics that stand out, make you feel good, especially for projects like this when we're doing memorial or remembrance projects. We really want them to stand out and have a high quality look to them. So I'm just closing up my extra folders that are open. Awesome. So if we don't need to add anything, I'm going to take where I'm right clicking and I'm choosing the text that I'm touching, which is the sunrise and sunset. And we're just going to turn that off. And then we'll have this, we'll have the ability to bring it back, or if you wanted to add any different words later, you definitely have that option. And Tiffany, I'm going to send you this as the Photoshop file and a flattened version of the file. And if you ever need the full print sheets, you can let us know. We have a listing on the Innate Lab website where you can purchase just the prints. They're $14, and we can print them the 36 by 44 inch sheets. That way you can press usually up to an extra large. It takes 4 presses. Anything larger than an extra large, this goes up to a 3X. It'll take about 6 presses, and you won't have to do paste ups. But if you need to do paste ups, which is where you tile the image and paste them, there's a whole playlist for that too. Gotcha. Okay, let's do that. Let's add the front spec, the text, and I'm going to copy and paste this right from the comments here, and then we'll update that. Oh, Tiffany, I'm so sorry, love. This is both together so recent. I'm sorry. So this is 7:20 and 7:15. We'll update that. Now, do you want me to put RIH, or do you want me to put spell it out, rest in heaven? Now I can also I'm gonna do it like this, and you tell me how you want it. So instead of bunching it on one line, I'm gonna see if I can separate it for one for mom and one for grandma. And I'm gonna right click on, or not, let's copy that layer style, and then just paste it here, just so we can kind of see it. And then I'll probably simplify that too. Now I can put the dates, we can spell them out, or we can put them like this. I'm just playing around with the size of the font so that we can see if you like that better. If we need to put it on one line, I can absolutely do that too. Excuse me, guys. Okay. And one thing I need to do is go ahead and bring on my guides here, so I can see if my text, I'm pushing my text a little bit outside of my safe area. So I need to fix that. Now let me ask you this. Do you want me to put mom on the left side and grandma on the right side? Because I can switch up the photos too. So if you wanted mom, then grandma. I'm just kind of squishing grandma in a little bit so it doesn't look as wide. And then we can switch the photos. And that way it's not confusing at all. Okay, perfect. And one more thing, just to add a little balance, I'm going to make Grandma's picture just a little bit bigger so that it looks to scale with Mom's image. And then I'll probably clean that up on the bottom just a little bit. And that way they both have their wings. We have them in order left to right. Zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to decrease the effects on these letters just a little bit because it's a little heavy, being that it's smaller text, but it has the same type of effect style as the bigger text. So we're just going to bring down just a little bit the size of the stroke and then the drop shadow. And that way it looks a little more proportional to this particular smaller text. So we'll copy that layer style and then we're going to paste it over here onto Grandma. There we go. That looks a little bit more legible to me. And then we can get rid of this layer here. Okay, so Mom is red. All right, I'm gonna let the video catch up a little bit because I think it's a delay here. Now, while I'm waiting on it to catch up, I'm going to explain that this template will work, especially if you submit it as an all over. If you need for us to print it for you, you have to turn off this layer that says turn off for printing, and it hides those guidelines. But I just want you to be aware that all of your text and your photos should be inside of this box. So then that way, whether you're printing a small shirt or a 3X shirt, you're still not going to crop off any of your important stuff. And as a matter of fact, wings is kind of hanging off there. This part is usually fine because it's going to end up in the sleeve, if anything. You have a little extra playroom up there. But just in case, I'm going to scoot it over just a little. The last thing you want to do is have a really pretty design that doesn't scale well. One thing you would have to do if it doesn't scale well is you have to make sure that you resubmit the design for every single size. But if you go by these guidelines, you won't have to worry about that. You'll be able to print this same size image for a small all the way up to a 3X. Okay. And I'm just waiting on my end to see if any more comments come through, because I want to make sure we have it just perfect before we save it or send it. We need to be saving the whole time. Okay. Another thing is if we want let's bring these butterflies in just a little bit, just so that even on the smallest shirt they won't get cut off. It works, and even on the smallest shirt we'll see our little butterflies here, so that works. Make sure I save this one. Control S is your best friend working in Photoshop. Otherwise, it's not too uncommon that the program will crash on you and may or may not save a recovery version of your file, which may or may not be the last thing that you did to the file. So we just like to be careful and hit Control S as often as you can remember. Hey, Rona. All right, so I think have any more comment here, Tiffany? All right, so I think that is it. If I need to change anything, yes, Tiffany, absolutely. Our deepest condolences. And even if this is for like a client of yours or someone that you're doing this as like a gift for, you all let me know that ahead of time, and I can absolutely, you can have your people watch the video too and let us know if we need to change anything or if they just want to be a part of the process. Sometimes this kind of helps them to visualize and kind of get that comfort of a beautiful design that represents something that it helps them think of the positive, right? Is it possible to put y'all? Absolutely, Tiffany. Yes, we can do that. We can absolutely do so. Tiffany, you must be from the South. So, y'all, you want me to put y'all's wings, like you alls, or y'all? Y'all? Yeah, we can say you all. Yeah. I'm trying to be proper with the with our southern vernacular. So let me know how this y'all looks to you. Then I got you. There we go. Okay. And Tiffany, you'll have this editable file too. So I'm pretty sure if you like it and you make it, then some folks will ask you if you want to do that to maybe make a pillow or maybe even a shirt for someone else, and you'll have the editable version, so you can change the words out. You can make things visible or invisible. You can take off mom and grandma and put names there if you want to. But definitely, I want to show you all. If you turn off this layer, this is one of my biggest questions that I get. You should be able to pretty much print this square if you need to. Like if you're doing a pillow, that might be a really nice way to commemorate and just have something nice for yourself, or maybe even some of the other family members or loved ones. The what else is a really popular thing? The blankets, if you want to do something like that. You have a design. It's not doesn't have to necessarily be a t-shirt, but this gives you the opportunity to start with a t-shirt and take it from there. All right, so I am trying to get up to the shop today so I can prep and do some videos for you all on some demonstrations for some of the products, as well as to show you the items that'll be in the raffle for the Eco Tank 15,000. So sometime, if it's not tonight, if I don't drop it until tomorrow, it'll be because internet up there isn't established. So if I get the internet working tonight, then I'll post it tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Y'all are so sweet. And thank you so much for you all showing real genuine concern and love for us all at this point in time. This is usually something that that's not the easiest thing to do. So it's really nice to have you all being comforting as well. And I know, unfortunately, this is a lot of the type of work that we are requested to do. So it's really, really great. I can't tell you how great it is to have people who are heartfelt who do these type of projects. There are too many times that people have come to me and just really have expressed how much we put into it, how well our decorum is, how much we really show concern for others versus going to some other places that print t-shirts and they don't necessarily get that type of treatment and love and concern. So that's a big deal to folks. So I want to encourage you all to have that type of connection with your community because it's a big deal. I'm so glad you love it, Tiffany. That's awesome, awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure that grandma and mom are even here, like aligned. So I'm gonna choose the top alignment here. I knew it was off just a little bit, but that looks good. And I'm gonna go ahead and save. And then I'm also going to save this as a JPEG. If you're ready for this to go just as is and you don't want to open Photoshop to edit anything, if you save it as, oh, I have to wait a second, but if you save it as a JPEG, it'll be all compressed and you want to print from the JPEG. You don't want to print from the Photoshop file. And you can also, if you want to, instead of saving it as a JPEG, I'll save it as a JPEG. I'm going to show you one more file type. This is what I save it as when I have to tile it, which is what I show you in the video, how to tile the images so you can print on your 7710s and 20s. Let's do file. No, save as. Oh, of course, it's saving again. So I save it as a JPEG. This time I'm going to save it as a PDF, Photoshop PDF. And then I'm going to take off the layers and just let it save as a copy. All right, the other thing that I can do is I can open my JPEG, which is probably better because believe it or not, even though you tell it not to save the layers, if this opens in Adobe Acrobat, which is where you break down your tiles, it will still try to break down all those elements. So you can open up your JPEG version. This is my kind of trick around that. Open up JPEG version. I'm going to go to image size, and make sure it's still a 44 by 36. Perfect. And then we're going to do file, save as. So now that it's merged all together, I'm still going to save it as a Photoshop PDF. And we're going to make sure that up here at the top it says high quality print is the preset. That's pretty much what you want. Okay, the reason why I don't save as a PNG, number one, it doesn't have any transparent pixels to save, so I don't save it as a PNG. But if it did, sometimes when you do save as a PNG, it changes, it alters your size. So instead of doing a 36 by 44 inch artboard at 150 dpi, it will do was like 72 by 88 and then do it at 72 DPI. And it's crazy because if you send that to the printer thinks that you're trying to print something twice the size with half the resolution, but the PNG options a lot of times change up your configuration of your pixels and the dimensions. So JPEG is pretty much going to keep it true. I love PNG. That's my preferred format because I work with transparent images all the time, but if I can't get it to work right and resize the same way every time, I just go with JPEG. But that is a great question. So I think what I'll do is show you. I have several videos on this, but just in case you're in a crunch and you need to know how to do this, I'm going to show you how to go to Acrobat Reader. We'll go ahead and open that PDF version of the image. And see, I'm going to show you the difference when I open. No, I'm not going to show you. I was going to try to open the PDF version of the Photoshop version, even though I told it not to do layers. You'll see all this stuff loading up just like it's layers. It's crazy because you think it's saving data and it's compressing it a little bit, but it still tries to preserve it. All right, so now we can go to File, Print. And instead of me actually sending it to the printer, which I can show you, I wouldn't even print. I don't print from Adobe Acrobat because the colors usually end up a little off. So that's the large format printer. We want to look for Adobe PDF. Okay, and depending on what your Adobe PDF settings are set to, it will tell you how many tiles that is. So we're going to go up here to Properties. I'm going to tell it the page size is Super B. And everything else should be all the same. All right, so it breaks it down into 8 sheets that need to be printed. So Tiffany, if you are doing this as a tile with the 13 by 19 sheets, this is how you would do it. I'm going to also show you a second way if you're doing the roll media that you can just print on roll media. So let's hit print on this. I just want to make sure. Oh, let's add an overlap. You definitely want to add an overlap. I tell people I use like 0.25, 0.3 inches, but if this is one of your first times tiling, I'm going to suggest that you do a 0.5 inch overlap. It's still going to be 4 sheets, but it gives you a little more playroom with trimming, but you have more paper overlapping, a wider paper overlap. So you just have to choose which one is going to be your friend or your enemy. So 0.5 is what I would suggest. If you're really good and you have a lot of confidence in this pasting up, you can get away with 0.25, maybe even 0.3 if you need a little bit more. But it's not going to be any less sheets. It's just going to be less of an overlap. Okay, so the scale, we want it to be 100%. Don't mess with that because otherwise it won't necessarily print out the size that you want. And that's it. If we hit print, it's going to ask us what folder we want to put it in. And I'm going to put it in our client files folder. And I'll send you this too, if that's how you want to do it. It's a 13 by 19. That way you have that already done. Now I'm going to save it with 13 by 19 at the end. And shorten up this file name just so it'd be easier for you to download and open. All right, so that's 13 by 19. And now we want to open it in Photoshop. So I'll go File, Open, and I'll see that this, oh, maybe it's not loaded yet. Nope, it's not. It needs a little time to break it down. There it goes. It's trying. I'll take a little sip of my water in the meantime. If you need to save as PNG, Chrissy Poo, My suggestion, and I'm going to show you while that's doing this thing there. I'm going to cancel out of this. I'm going to go here. And now when you do file save as, and you save it as a PNG, just check it before you send it to anyone. Save it as PNG. And then I want you to open it and just test to see if the image size is what it says it is. T Crazy Girl, you can send an order through the Innate Lab page. There is a option to do custom design if you need us to do the design for you. If it's one of my loves, my design babies, I will do it live with you most of the time, and that way I can show you. I'd rather show you how to fish than. I mean, I could probably make a lot more money if you just had to send me your stuff every time and I design for you. But really and truly, my goal is to have you all be confident as designers yourself. So that's why when I go on live with you all, I'm actually talking through the videos. With most of my design clients, I just go through the motions of designing for them and asking them what they like, what they feel looks good, and I don't explain away like I'm explaining to you all. But when I know it's one of my design babies, I got y'all. I'm gonna talk you through it, and I guarantee you'll be able to watch this video later and do everything that I'm doing. I have that much confidence in you. Okay, so this is the 8 pages. As you see, it broke it down into 8 13 by 19 pages. And I want you to see here, let me zoom out a little. I'm trying to give you an idea that the tiles overlap. It's kind of hard to see it here. Let's go ahead and get ready to open it in Photoshop. Oh, before I do that, let me answer your question about the PNG. So let's open that PNG. Hopefully it saved it. That's the PNG. Let's see if it saved at the right size. You'll know when you try to open it. You go to image, image size, and this time it actually saved it as the 44 by 36 with the proper resolution. Now, this may be something Photoshop has been working on because this has been a problem consistently in the past. When I used to save as PNGs and send to a printer myself, they would say, hey, the dimensions are off. What size do you really want this to be printed? And it would always default my resolution to 72, and it would adjust the width and the height in order to reflect a 72-inch resolution, 72 pixels per inch resolution. Crazy stuff. Yes, we have most of the designs that we have for Photoshop, we have for Affinity too. I have just been collecting some of the Affinity users to see like if we can get classes together, if we can get enough content together to do some Affinity photo classes and versions of the template edits. But even if I don't have a video for the Affinity photo templates, there's probably a template file for it. Because basically what I end up doing is converting it from the Photoshop version. And as a matter of fact, maybe I'll show you what that process looks like. So even if you would have to have Photoshop in order to convert it. But I would say learning design, stay with Photoshop. If to learn it, because I know it sounds like I'm telling you to just switch over, but if the majority of the content, and I don't see a lot of people teaching you how to do this kind of stuff and these kind of designs. So I would rather pay for Photoshop, if it's $10 a month, get you a buddy so you can split the cost. You only need one seat, so it'd be $5 a month for maybe 3 to 4 months while you're learning this content. Because I'm not likely going to make a lot of Affinity videos. And then once you get really solid and knowing how to edit the templates, you can change them and convert them into Affinity templates. You may not even go back once you see that you can do Photoshop. The programs Affinity Photo and Photoshop are very similar. That's the reason why I know Affinity Photo. I never looked up anything for Affinity Photo other than a help file if I was just really stuck on something. So the reason why I know how to use Affinity Photos because I know how to use Photoshop. If that makes any sense there. Oh, that's perfect. Matter of fact, if you type in the words Photoshop download and $9.99, or something like that, I tell you which Photoshop to download. It's $9.99 per month, and if you go to the Innate Creatives group, if you don't already have Photoshop, there's a type in the word buddy, search for that, and but well, I purchased Affinity too. I have Affinity just because I needed to see what it was about. I needed to see what the interface looked like, and I put it on my iPads because the iPad Pro is the only one that can run Photoshop. So I don't have iPad Pros. So I do Affinity and I teach the kids Affinity on the iPad, but they also kind of know how to use Photoshop from using Affinity on the iPad. So they can kind of do Photoshop on my computer with my guidance, of course. But yeah, if y'all have Affinity and you want to rock with Affinity, it will have to be enough people to do classes for it. And I do have some people that are interested. I have an Affinity class coming up August 1st. Let me see if I can show you that. Because I am starting to get more Affinity folks, and I'm not. Let's do academy.innatelab.com. I'll show you we have it highly requested that we finally do an Affinity photo class. So these are all the classes, and there's a membership too, which I made a whole video on that, so y'all can check that out. So let's go to Affinity Photo. This is going to be our first Affinity Photo class, August 1st, and I need to put the time on there. So I put the date, but I need to put the time. August 1st is probably what, a Saturday? Usually my Saturday classes I do at 1. Yeah, it's a Saturday. So it'll be 1 p.m. And you'll get a template to download. You'll have your homework questions to answer, whether you have dual screen and all that good stuff. And this is the video for the Photoshop version of this class, but we'll re-record an Affinity version. So you'll have the recording of the class as well that you'll have access to. Okay. So that's that. Everything else is pretty much Photoshop for now. We have pre-recorded classes. If you sign up now for the Innate Academy, you'll get all four 101, 102, 103, and 104. You get all four of those courses with the templates included and whatever bonuses are there. And then every single week, you'll get a new course dripped to you. So 105, the next week, you'll get the socks and the Photoshop seamless pattern. And we did that today. It was really fun. As a matter of fact, Dee Dee, if you do the Affinity class, you get to, if you, I guess you won't see the instructions yet, but you get to change out whatever's on here, okay? So it's going to ask you to, for your homework for this class, you have a list of things you have to do. One of the homeworks is you're going to, or assignments is that you have to choose your photo, choose your theme, and whatever accent image. So let's say your photo is a remembrance photo, and then your theme might be maybe you'll do a cross or roses or praying hands. So you'll replace the shark with one of those images. And then instead of happy birthday, maybe you'll say in loving memory or whatever your theme is. We're going to change it in class. Now, this isn't just something where you watch me work. This is something where I watch you work. So I look at your screens. I get to take over the mouse if I need to, but very seldom do I have to. And I get to guide you through the process. If you get stuck, I can tell you what you did wrong and we can correct it on screen and keep it moving. Now, I do one-on-one sessions as well, and I'll teach anything for a one-on-one session. It's $90 per hour, and typically, if you're designing from a template, it takes about an hour to do a one-on-one session. If you're designing from scratch, it takes at least 2 hours to design from scratch one of these type of designs. So I just ask you to keep that in mind. And if you do your session live, then usually I include a template for free. So let's say you do an hour-long Affinity photo one-on-one and you want to do a remembrance image. You would pick out your image and say, hey, I want to do the one-on-one session live. Can you send me this template? And maybe it's this template that's here. You just screenshot which templates you want and we'll do it live. That way other people can watch, but you have the one-on-one attention. Awesome. I'm glad that helps you. Oh, let me get back to helping Tiffany if she's going to do this tile printing. Let me go ahead and close out of this. I'm going to save it. We're going to open this 13 by 19 PDF. Now, of course, it's several pages. It's 8 pages. So when we go to open it, you're going to see this. It's going to ask us which pages we want to open. Now, really and truly for the up to, I think, an extra large, you don't need page 5 and you don't need page 8. But I'll tell you to open them all up anyway. I'm going to hit OK, and you'll see each page opens up as its own file. And then it has the page number at the end. So you'll see 13 by 19-1, 13 by 19-2, and that's going to help you to understand if your printer stops in the middle of a print, you'll know which one you need to reprint. Okay, so that's 2, this is 3, and you'll see there should be a little overlap right here between these two. So you see how the yawl ends way before? You'll have a 1/2 inch overlap. So the yawl is continued on the second one. So if you trim these up right to the edge of the image, you'll still be able to overlap and not have non-matching tiles. All right, so that's it. And literally when you're printing these off, you just file print. Let me see if I think I have one of my 7710s. So you would choose whichever the printer was. I'll choose my 13 by 19 True Ink and 8 sub. And then you don't want to make it, you want to make sure that here it doesn't scale it. You want to keep it 100%. I let Photoshop manage the colors. And I choose Epson Inkjet Printer 07. So my colors look consistent from print to print. And that's it. I will print each and every one of these tiles, except for I won't print 6 and 8 if I'm not doing a 2x or a 3x. So you only need 6 tiles if you're doing anything XL and under. Okay? So I hope that helps, Tiffany. And then, of course, if you have a large format printer, you just print that puppy out one big old sheet. And I still do the same thing. I print for Photoshop even with my large format. Okay, so just closing out of these. I'm not saving them because I want for you to do those steps that I just did. And then make sure each one prints out with the same settings, because if one prints out letting the printer choose the color and the other one prints out letting Photoshop choose the color, you get a little bit of a mess. And then your tiles won't, the colors won't be the same. Okay. All right, loves. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do another video doing a short video on how to press these all overs with four presses, and just the quickest way to do them, because I've even had to figure out some better ways to do things. So I'll be sharing that with you too. Yeah, the tiling, I did a whole video for y'all. And Tiffany, if you are tiling, there's a whole, I think it's a 2-hour long video where I tiled doing the 13 by 19 sheets. And then I also have roll media. So I would do 13-inch roll media. I think it was 36 inches. I would cut the sheets to 36 inches and just print on that roll media. So it ends up being 4 sheets of roll media versus 8 sheets of 13 by 19. Or like T says, you could just go online and if you go to Design Print Services, there's an option down there. Y'all check out the inks. Check out the print head cleaners. You know, support your girl in the true ink with the true colors. Okay. There's a 13 by 19. I think the next one's on the next page. So yeah, this is the 36 by 44. I have another size. I don't like to confuse people, but there is, if you ever need to print larger than a 3X, which is 4X's and 5X's, we actually have to print a bigger sheet. And that one ends up being $21 because it's a 44 by 55. So it's a huge sheet and we have to, send it in a larger tube and all that good stuff. But if you need that, we have that option as well. But this is it. You just upload your finished art and check out and send us what you want your prints to be. Now it has to be to scale and everything. I've had some prints that came through that weren't quite ready to print, and then I have to call you or message you. And if you need me to change anything, I usually charge $15 minimum to go in and edit your file, even if I just have to, oh, your date's not gonna print right because it's hanging off the printable area, or something that I have to change about it. It starts at 15. If you want me to actually design it for you, you can always go to the design print services, and I think it's on the second page too. And you can go to custom design, and you can upload what template you like, what photos you want to include, and I can actually design it for you. Now this is where y'all go. Even if you want me to design it live, just go ahead and check out and make sure that you when you check out, you tell me, like, you can choose, and this is only for my people, my NA creatives. If you choose PNG here, and I know you're one of my folks and you want me to design it live for you, I will send you the Photoshop file free of charge. So usually the Photoshop file is an additional $20. So even if you pay for the PNG, I'll send you the Photoshop file. Okay, or the affinity file. If you're doing affinity photo, I'll send you the actual source image, which is kind of unheard of, but y'all keep me going and keep this blood flowing through this innate system that we have going here. So I like to kind of give back to that. Absolutely, you're welcome, Tiffany, and I would love to see how it comes out. I know that this is going to be a project near and dear, so I would love to see the process. If you need any help, the Innate Creatives group, I know you said you're new. So in the Innate Creatives group, if you run into a snag somewhere, just make a post there. And if I can't get to you, Erica Kane is the number one. Like, I can't even say she's my right hand. She's like my whole right side of my brain and my body. So she's the right hand, the right brain, all of that. So she helps me with answering questions and staying on top of things within the group. So that's Innate Creatives, and come on in there, ask questions, post things, and oh, Shirley Ann posted her socks we did today. Oh, they look so good. I'm sorry, I be bragging on y'all so much, so much. Yeah, and Dee Devana, she's doing a lot. Y'all are killing these templates. I promise. Like every time I see them, I don't even know my own work because y'all are doing it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I get a little emotional about the design babies. Y'all growing up on me. All right. Tiffany, for shipping, it depends on where you are. For most of the time, if I get an all over print order, we can get it out within, I ask for 2 to 3 days. But I understand that there's a lot of sensitivity when it comes to the remembrance. And just, in general, how our customers sometimes can be. So if you message us ahead of time, message Erica or message the Innate Lab business page, or email us and say, hey, this is an urgent job. Can it go out today? I can let you know real time whether it can go out today or it's not going to be able to go out till 2 days, depending on what the workload is. So our normal turnaround time is 2 to 3 days. We send out the prints. If you need it sooner than that, we can accommodate, and usually there's a rush fee on there to do that. So yeah, and make sure here, I'll post the link for the Innate Creatives group for those of you who may not. I think this is the link. That's my little bookmark link. But yeah, come on in and join the Innate Creatives group if you aren't already in there. And you'll see that I mean, y'all are doing it. Y'all are making this dream come true. So the dream is so that y'all have tools that even if you're a beginner in Photoshop or design in general, that you have some tools that make your work look really high level professional. Get out there, get your designs out there, let people know what you're doing. Post a mock-up. Post one of my mock-ups. I don't care. Post something today that gets people, oh, can I order that? Because I'm telling you, that'll build your confidence. It'll build your confidence, it'll build your orders. And if I need to help you design it, just make sure you're charging them enough for the design fee. Okay. And then once you get the hang of it, once I design for you on a live session and you get the hang of it, you're like, okay, I got this next one. If you need that, some of you all download these templates, y'all will watch the videos. Every template has an hour-long video that goes with it to tell you how to use it. So you don't have to pay for extra instruction if you don't want to. That's an option that I started to make available for those who just really wanted someone to guide them through the process. There's a difference in watching a tutorial and being guided. And I actually look at your screen and guide you through the process. I can even take over the mouse if I need to take the wheel. I know how to drive the boat and take it for just a second and give it right back to you. This one ended up really beautiful. Diamond. Beautiful. Yes. Diamond's here, right? I think I saw Diamond earlier. Yes. Yolanda, she's been doing her thing. She was in class today doing socks. Cool. All right, so let's see, it's already 7. I'm going to go ahead and save these files and send them over to you, Tiffany. But if y'all need anything, let me see if there's any question I missed before I let y'all go. And you're most welcome, Tiffany. Dee Dee, come on in. You could be that great. I'm telling you, you already are that great. It's just it needs to be unlocked. Like a level on a video game. Just unlock it and you got free reign. All right, loves. Well, I certainly appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and send this file over before I get too caught up in something else and get up to the shop and hopefully do some developing today. All right. I love y'all for real, and I'll be back doing some of these live sessions. We're going to do live tutorials on how to edit these, so I get to pick y'all's pictures. You know, y'all are real with these photos. I have a bunch to choose from, so this is going to be hard. But yeah, whenever I'm doing a template video, I'll take a template and I'll say, hey, drop a photo if you want to be featured on a template. And then y'all will drop these beautiful photos. We'll do a session live, and whoever's picture that I use for that template will get that template for free. And get to be featured as one of my little models. Oh, y'all are doing it big. I see y'all got some models in the house. I'm loving this. All right, so I have some work to do too, y'all. The 8-1 class, Dee Dee, is academy.innatelab.com. And just as a disclaimer, y'all go ahead and download all of your files off of the regular innatelab.com, because what I'm doing is I'm going to reserve, and I'm going to show you the difference here. Because I'm probably going to have to explain this for the next 60 days. Because in 60 days, we're going to have all of our templates over on the Innate Academy. We're going to have all of our sessions, everything that you all need to access digitally will be on the Academy. And then that way, this Innate Lab is going to be kind of a blank website that you can take your customers to, right? And you can say, hey, which design do you like? And it won't show courses. It won't show the blank products. It won't show the customers. Basically, it won't show your hand. So what the customers will see is that each of these templates will be $30, right? So when a customer sees that, they're like, oh, wow. If you go to the 10-minute templates and you show them those templates, say, hey, which design do you like? And they happen to choose, let's see one, for example. Let's say they choose this roses one. Oh yeah, I like this 13 by 19 print. The price that it's going to say on there is going to be $30. It's not going to have the video showing them how to download, none of that. So I'm going to use my website for you all to use as a showcase. And then eventually, if y'all want, a replica of the website, I'll offer that. But for right now, I just want you to have something that you can show people. You can show them this now and tell them that it's $20, because most of y'all aren't even charging for art from the survey that I did on the website. And that's what I used to do too. But you gotta charge for art, okay? Some of you will spend just as much time designing an order, more time designing an order than you will printing an order. So even if I had one shirt and I spent 2 hours on a design, you need to be compensated for that design time. Or you can do, like, I do free design if I'm doing over certain quantities of shirts. So let's say I'm doing 30 shirts, I might throw in a free design in there because then it makes them stop thinking about the design price. So if you're doing 30 shirts, I'll do free design. 30 shirts and up, free design. But it has to be the same design. Okay? Nope. And Dee Dee, check out some videos. I have a video on how you can take the all overs and break them down into smaller, either 13 by 19s, 11 by 17s, if you got those 15 by 15-inch pillows. I have several videos showing you how to break down the all over template to other sizes. So Tori, oh, as far as for the academy, the new class that we did, so this is the next upcoming class is live. It's going to be for Affinity. The next class, somebody asked me that too, and I don't know what happened to that comment. I don't know if I overlooked it. But the next class, you all are welcome to give me your input. But let's see. I have my next class. We did socks. And I was requested to do license plates. So it'll probably be a template for license plates, but showing you how to go in there. Like somebody wants their name or their photo or anything like that. We're going to do a class just on designing the license plates. It'll have a template, quick switch outs. It'll be a mock-up, just like the socks was a. I'll show you. The socks was a mock-up and a printable file. The license plates will be the same thing. It'll be a mock-up and a printable. Then after that, we have the programs. People have been asking me about these programs for a long time. So the funeral programs, like the church service programs, those sort of things, we're going to do that one as a class. All right. And then one more, we're doing a class on home decor sets. So it'll be showing you how to decorate the pillows, curtains, rugs, etc. And basically how to change out those things and make a mock-up for it. Okay. And then we have so many other things on the list. So if there's something you want to learn, guaranteed, let me know. And I can even throw in a bonus class if it's that desired. Okay, I don't only have to do four a month or one a week. So I can throw in a bonus one if it is highly requested enough. And that's what my affinity classes are. Affinity are bonus classes right now. So in addition to the affinity classes, I still do 4 every month until affinity enrollment is up enough to where I can do 4 classes a month for affinity, just like I do 4 classes a month for Photoshop. Okay. And then I can keep the affinity folks even on the same courses. All right, so I think that's it. Y'all go in here and just download this free one here. This is kind of like a mock-up display template where you kind of lay out what categories and what types of products work for each of those categories and start laying out what your setup would be like. Even if it's a virtual setup that you're just going to put on your Facebook page as your Facebook banner. This is a file you can download for free right now. Right? So I said I was gonna let y'all go. Y'all will let me talk for days. Y'all ain't no good. Y'all will let me talk for days. No, it's good. The questions are good. So Tori, okay, so what happens when you first sign up? The first day that you sign up, you will get access to courses 1 through 4, right? And then by the next week, it's like like kind of what they call a drip. So by the next week, you'll get the socks course. The next week, you'll get course number 106. The next week after that, you'll get course number 107, etc. So the sooner you start, you'll have everything that everybody has. Like not that everybody, but that the beginning folks, like the founding folks have. And then if you decide to join like later, let's say 6 months from now, you still start at 104, and or 105 will be your first week, 106 will be your second week. So basically, the sooner you get on, the more content you have unlocked, because it will unlock a session every single week. Yes, once you book the session, you'll always have access to that module. So you can actually, if you book the session now, you'll get the template right now. Go play with it. You'll have the template right now that you can play with, and then on 8-1, we'll actually go through the whole process together. So if you're one of those people who like to read the book before the teacher starts explaining it, you have access to that template right now. I hear you, Tori, and this is to help you out. I wanted to find an affordable way to not only offer the classes but also offer templates, because I know the templates, they're $20 a piece. I know the classes are $60 a piece, so I'm trying to figure out ways in which you'll still have access to the classes. There'll be the pre-recorded versions of them, but that's access to four $50 classes every month, and the membership is $30. So even if you were to buy those four templates, that would be $80. If you were to take those four classes, that would be $200. If some of the things that are included there, just some of the freebies and stuff that we'll have, all of that stuff, it adds up. So I know that monthly, this stuff can really add up. So I'm trying to figure out a way to keep the members, the people who are really committed to month, staying involved. Those members reap a really steep benefit over the people who do buy like a la carte, like might buy a template every 6 months or something like that. I notice I have people that will buy every single month, and I wanted to reward you all by discounting some of the product and services that I offer. Okay. All right, love. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off for this evening and see if I can get some good content for you all for tomorrow. So hopefully I won't overwhelm you tomorrow with a with a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you did 3 classes already, Vaughn, you did 3 classes already. As soon as you sign up, it's going to unlock all four first classes: one, two, three, and four. Okay, as soon as you sign up, like immediately, you'll have access to one, two, three, and four, all the templates and all. And then that way, you'll get the sock drip after your first week. So that way you kind of basically be on your weekly course trip will start as soon as you do your membership. All right, so I'm glad y'all are asking these questions because it does help me as well. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm sending this email right now. So if y'all have any questions while I'm sending this email, I'm gonna stay a little while longer just to see if I can answer your questions. Because I know it's hard to get to me. It's hard for me to get to me. So it's almost impossible for me to get to me. So I already know how y'all are feeling. When you get a chance to talk to me, it's like all the questions, all the built up questions just come flying out. And so I'm trying to see if I had any more requests for content for the classes. So if you all want to request something for a class, put it up here, put it as a post, and then that way I can take heed to that. I was trying to see if I saw any posts asking for any questions. I mean, any particular courses, but I don't see them. Yeah. We did a little survey, but y'all been flooding the group with these great designs that I can't even find the. Oh yeah, the courses. I put the courses is $300 on the main website because I don't want y'all to buy them off the main website. I want y'all to go to the academy. So if you see them on there, it'll say in the description, go to the academy to purchase the courses. So I promise y'all that's the only way I get the attention, the details read is to increase those prices. Let's see. Hmm. Thought I did a survey. I know I did. I think what's next on the survey was the license plates and also the funeral templates and obituaries, those sort of things. Y'all really wanted. Y'all been asking me about that for some time now. So I'm finally putting that together. Let's see if we have any more questions. All right, so I think we're done with questions for right now. I appreciate you all dearly, and I will check back in tomorrow. In the meantime, log in to NA Creatives and ask your questions or share your content with us, and we're in this together. Together, we're gonna get it together. All right, love y'all for real, and just for now, bye.